Welcome back. All right, so the first 3 games of the day are done. So going to recap these now. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do any of the rest of them as a video like this with just a single board. The other 10 games I'll probably have to do as one video. But at any rate, it's a little bit shorter than it was last week, right? So, and hopefully a little bit earlier too. All right, so we're going to start things off talking about Colorado and Detroit. This is a matter of teams going in opposite directions. Colorado really playing quite well right now, and Detroit just things aren't going their way. So it's Georgiev versus Husso. Early jump for the Wings. Newhook has a shot that's held. It was kind of a slow, tentative start to this one. Larkin fires one wide. Wings press at 4 minutes. But at 5:01, it's Colorado that gets the lead. It's Taves from Compher and Makar. That was a give and go through a screen. Mata and Zadina are then denied and close. The shots are 6-2 for Detroit at 6.5 minutes. And then Larkin assists on a goal for Suter at 6:55. He wires that one far corner. Far corner was kind of the thing today in some of these games. And so yeah, Suter with a nice one and ties the game at 1. And really to that point, Detroit had outplayed Colorado. Ernie then has a rush chance that's held. Power play for Detroit. There's a post for Perron. That's killed off. And then there's a post for Lars Eller out of the box for Colorado. Wallman blocks the chance for McKinnon. The Wings go back to the power play. That's killed off. There's a press by the Wings with 1.5 minutes left. But after the first period, it's 1-1. And the Wings outplayed Colorado by a large margin. But the second period would be a bit of a different story. Shots are 2-1 for the Avs at 3.5 minutes. Colorado presses at the 5-minute mark. No room in the middle for Detroit. They just were not giving them the middle of the ice. And then McKinnon puts Colorado back in the lead. He buries one far corner from Malgin and Makar at 7:23. Eller takes a high stick. No call on that play. We get a power play for the Avs shortly thereafter. There's a shorthanded chance for Ernie that's saved. That's killed off. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. And then it becomes a 4-on-3 power play for the Avs. And lethal 4-on-3. Byram gets a power play goal at 17:37 from Makar and McKinnon. One-timer, far corner. So the far corner, kind of the word of the day in this one. If you hyphenate the words, I guess. Third period. Eller has a wraparound chance. That's saved. We get a power play for the Wings. The Avs don't let them set up early. And then they get a shorthanded goal. It's Eller from Nichushkin and Johnson at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That was late in the power play. They do finish the kill. And then Rantanen at 5:16 scores his 46th of the season from Rodriguez and McKinnon. That's one of the highest scoring seasons for a Finnish-born player since the year 2000. He's behind, I think they said Solani's 48's the highest number for a Finnish-born player since 2000. So Rantanen's going to beat that. Emotions are rising. The Avs go to the power play. Rantanen fans on one. That's killed off. Kubelik's tonight on a net drive. And in the final minute, the Avs press. The other thing I noticed was when the Avs got power plays in the third, it was still the top unit that was out there. The No Mercy Magnet's not on the board because it's not a 5-goal difference, but it felt like that kind of a game. Colorado wins 5-1. They go to 40, 22, and 6 on the season. Detroit 30, 29, and 9 with the loss. The shots on net 16-6 Detroit in the first, 12-8 Colorado in the second. 10-5 Detroit in the third. Final shots 34-23 for the Wings. Power plays Colorado 1 for 3. Detroit 0 for 3. The hits 17-10 Detroit. Georgiev was very good. 33 saves on 34 shots. Husso made 16 saves on 21 shots before Hellberg went in and saved the 2 shots that he faced in relief. So next up, Boston in against Minnesota. So Boston apparently has decided they're not done winning games yet. They've had an up and down week, but they ended on a bit of a high here. So Ullmark versus Gustafsson. Early jump for the Wild. Orlov has a shot that's held as the Bruins press. Coyle fans on one next to the net. The Bruins press at 4.5 minutes. And shots-wise, they're up 6-1 at 6 minutes. So Boston with a good start. Reeves then has a net drive that's defended. And then on a 3-on-0. I'm not sure what Boston's defense was doing here, but there were 3 Wild players behind the Bruins defense. Johansson scores from Boldy and Eriksson Ek at 9:45. And I'm sure Ullmark had a few things to say to his teammates after that, like, you coming back? So power play for the Wild. They score. Offside challenge. Yep, comes off the board. Bruins finish the kill. The Wild press after that's done. Dewar's denied on a turnover. Marchand had a 2-on-1. That shot was blocked. Hathaway and Reeves were unfriendly near the bench. No gloves dropped there. I'm guessing Hathaway looked at Reeves and thought, I value my face. So Bertuzzi has a tip shot that's saved, but before the period's out at 18:38, it would be tied by Jake DeBrusk from Bergeron and Marchand. So it's 1-1 after 1. Second period, strong start for the Wild. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Wild press, Zuccarello's denied. DeBrusk couldn't bury one in close, looking for his second of the game. Bruins get a power play. That's killed off. The shots on net are 5-4 Boston, 8 minutes into this. The Bruins go back to the power play, and they score on it. It's Pasternak from Lindholm and Marchand at 8:43. It's your standard cycle, and buried. Boston makes it look easy when it's working. Johansson fires one wide, and then the Wild score. Boldy got a nice goal. However, it's another offside challenge, and yep, it's off the board. So the ref is told that he sucks. The linesmen make that call. The referee just tells you how the call went. It's the linesman that make. It's not. It was offside. It's not a penalty. It's an offside. It's just I don't know. I can't get behind that. I would love to have seen somebody in the crowd jump up and go, "It's the linesman. Won't somebody think of the refs?" Anyway, that being said, Zuccarello's denied on a rush. We get a power play for the Wild. That's killed off, and then Krejci scores from Zacha at 14:03. So that one went in off Johansson's stick. Not optimal. Johansson no longer plays for the Bruins. We get a power play again for Boston. That's killed off. The Bruins press after it's done. 2:04 left. The Wild get a power play, and it becomes 1 minute and 24 seconds of 5-on-3. And as we've seen in games lately, the 5-on-3s are game changers. It just feels lately like there's a lot of key moments that can be traced back to a killed off 5-on-3. So we end that second period with Boston still ahead 3-1. There's only 33 seconds left in the Wild power play, which is now a 5-on-4, and the Bruins finish that kill early in the third. We get some pushing on a Gustafsson hold. We then get a power play for the Wild, and they score on it. It is Sundqvist from Gaudreau and Johansson at 7:17. But the Bruins, they press at 7 minutes, or at 9 minutes, I should say. And then at 12:22, on a one-timer from the slot, Bergeron gets the insurance goal from Marchand. Good forechecking by Marchand to set that up. And then the Bruins just go into a trap setup. One forward in, 4 guys back. Every time a Wild player came into the zone, there's 4 guys back defending. It's a wall. You're not going to get through it. The goalie pull happens with 3:30 left. After an interesting play where Pasternak was trying to get it to Krejci, he should have just gone for the empty net. On the next play, Frederick buries it. He gets the empty netter from Coyle at 18:03, and your final score is 5-2 in favor of the Boston Bruins. They go to 52-11-5 with the win. Minnesota 39-22-8 with the loss. Their 14-game point streak is snapped. Shots on net, 16-9 Boston in the first, 15-10 Boston in the second, 12-7 Minnesota in the third. Final shots 38-31 for the Bruins. It's the best game they've played in about 3 weeks. Power plays, 1 for 3 Boston. Yes, it's better than the Winnipeg game. Minnesota 1 for 5 on their power plays. The hits 29-16 for Boston. Ullmark 29 saves on 31 shots. I thought he looked shaky at certain points during this game, but the 2 goals being pulled off definitely helped him, and yeah, he ends up with a good save percentage. Gustafsson saves 33 out of 37, continues to have a good season, but there we are. All right, next up, Winnipeg, the Jets against Nashville. Jets finally starting to show some sense of urgency, some sense of, hey, we're right near that playoff line, we'd rather not lose this. This was a huge game for Nashville, and when I hear the TSN announcers say, well, this is a more important game for Nashville than Winnipeg, no, Nashville has 3 games in hand on Winnipeg. This is a more important game for Winnipeg, honestly, than it is for Nashville because of the 4-point difference. So Hellebuck versus Saros. The shots are 3-1 for the Jets, a minute and a half in, so they came out with the early jump. Morrissey has a shot that's blocked as the Jets press. Both teams are throwing hits early in this one. We get a press by Nashville at 4.5 minutes. Dubois can't bury one in close. And then on their second shot, Nashville goes ahead. It's glass from Tomasino and Foot at 5:26. And that's on a turnover, which was a storyline with the Jets, fighting the puck and ending up turning over the puck as well. Jets then look to answer. We had a fight between Dillon and Foot. Pretty good tilt there. The Jets come out of that with a power play. Wheeler has a shot that's held. Ehlers fires one wide. That power play is killed off. 1 shot. Ehlers has a rush chance that's held. Then there's a power play for Nashville. Back-to-back clears by the Jets. We then get 8 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off, and in the power plays that each team had, they both had 1 shot on net. So we go to the second period with Nashville ahead 1-0, even though the Jets outchanced them and outshot them badly. Second period, near miss for Barron and close. The shots are 2 apiece at 3.5 minutes. Jets are turning it over, creating some Preds chances here. Pressed by Winnipeg at 7.5 minutes. They end up generating a power play. And Ehlers was having a really tough game at this point. Just the puck would come back to him on the point. He'd mishandle it. He'd whiff on shots on net. Like, The Jets really squeezing their sticks at this point in the game. Back-to-back clears by the Preds. They end up killing that off. Shots are 7-4 for the Jets with 8.5 minutes left, but it doesn't matter. They're behind 1-0. And then Nino has a slot shot. That's held. There's a near miss for Scheifele on a snapshot. Stenlund fans on a chance 2-on-1. So just the near misses and the fanning on the puck. It's 1-0 Nashville going into the third. And honestly, I thought that might be enough. Third period, Yossi, who had missed the second, still was not back for the third. So we'll see what Yossi's status is and how much time he's going to miss. Jets had gone 105 minutes without a goal going into that third period. 105 minutes of action without a goal for Winnipeg. Connor couldn't bury one as the Jets press. He was really fighting it. Barry's then denied on a rush. The shots are 3-1 Nashville at 5 minutes. So this is all rolling Nashville's way here. Wheeler then has a blast that's held as the Jets press, and sure enough, Ehlers would get it. He needed that. He wires it. Good press. Morrissey and Scheifele with the assists at 6:17. That ends the drought at 111 minutes and 39 seconds. And then it just felt like Winnipeg relaxed a little bit. That being said, they relaxed a bit on the next shift, and you can't do that. At 6:51, Evangelista puts the Nashville Predators back in the lead. He's looked good since being called up. Novak and Barry with the assists, and it was a tic-tac-toe play. The Jets then get a power play. Schmidt has a net drive that's defended. That power play is killed off. But then Lowry ties it up again for Morrissey at 10:15. So Lowry, really they need some secondary offense. If Lowry can get things going, that'd be great. The Jets press with 5.5 minutes left. Dubois fans on one on a fast break. He would remember that, I do believe. And the Jets press in the final minute, but we're going to overtime. So for Calgary fans, bad news, both teams get points. In the overtime, Preds control early. Glass has a shot that's held, and then they win the faceoff. They go the other way, and the Jets get the win. It's Pionk from Dubois at 55 seconds. He buries the rebound after Dubois went end-to-end on that play. Really solid play by Pierre-Luc Dubois. And with the win, the Jets go to 39, 28, and 3. With the overtime loss, Nashville drops to 34, 26, and 8 on the season. Shots on net, 13-5 Winnipeg in the first, 9-8 Winnipeg in the second, 11-6 Winnipeg in the third. Both teams had one shot in the overtime. Winnipeg's the shot that's most important. Shots on net, 34-20 for Winnipeg in the game. Power plays, Winnipeg 0 for 4, Nashville 0 for 1. Hits, 36-22 Winnipeg. Hellebuck saves 18 out of 20, and Saros saves 31 out of 34. Not too shabby. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.